Hey everyone, welcome back to another solo Pokemon video. Today we'll be tackling Gen 1 with Nidoqueen. If you haven't already seen my video on Nidoking, make sure to check it out in the description below. I was always intrigued by these tiny poison moles as a kid, but never gave them a fair shake. I was always deathly afraid of wasting TMs, so I never unlocked their true potential, which is why I've set off to see how good the Nidos actually are. Similar to her counterpart, Nidoqueen has insane coverage from TMs, with access to Bubble Beam, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Earthquake. However, Nidoqueen has additional bulk and defenses rather than attack and speed. Her level up attacks also reflect this, with lower base power from both Scratch and Body Slam. So how much do you think that would actually impact the run? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel to be notified about new content. We're making a push to get to 500 subscribers, and you can help make that happen. Here are the rules for my playthrough, which I'll also leave in the description. Now let's get started. Brock is our first major hurdle. His rock Pokemon all resist the normal type moves that we have access to, so we're going to have to train. At level 11, I decided to tackle Rival 1A. Scratch is a base 40 power move and more accurate than Tackle, so it's preferred. Pidgey is first, and Scratch does about a quarter damage. It goes for Sand Attack and misses, which in Gen 1, any status move from your opponent has a 25% chance to miss. Another Scratch, and it's below half health. However, Sand Attack finally lands. A third Scratch brings Pidgey to critical health, and Gust does minimal damage. Finally, we knock it out and level up to 12. Squirtle is next, which I chose to be the hardest challenge during the champion fight, and Scratch again does about a quarter damage of its health. Squirtle goes for Tail Whip, and another Scratch takes it below half. A second Tail Whip fails, and a Scratch crit almost knocks out the Water Turtle. Squirtle finally goes on the offensive with Tackle, not dealing much damage, and Scratch misses its mark. Squirtle again goes for Tackle, but Scratch finishes it off. Barb and I cleared the trainers at Viridian Forest at level 13, but from experience with Rick, we won't be able to face Brock until we evolve. Also, Horn Attack had a higher base power of 65 compared to Scratch's base 40, and the male Nidoran had Leer to lower Onix's defense, where we only have Growl. So there's a lot working against us. At level 16, Barb evolves into Nidorina. It's time to battle the Light Years trainer. Diglett is first. Barb outspeeds and trades Scratches. Diglett is down to about half health, and a follow-up Scratch knocks it out. Next is Sandshrew, another trade in Scratches where Barb looks to be doing about a quarter. Another Scratch brings the Dirty Mouse to half health. It tries the underhanded move Sand Attack but misses. Another Scratch lands, but Sand Attack hits as well. Barb lands another Scratch, but Sandshrew holds on with a sliver of health. Barb misses with Scratch, and the Dirty Mouse doubles down with his underhanded tactics. Finally, Barb lands a blow and knocks it out. I'm still a bit concerned about facing Brock and decide to level up some more. Finally, at level 17, I make my first attempt. Geodude is first. Choosing not to learn anything from Rick, I attempt to use Poison Sting. After 5 defense curls from Geodude, Poison Sting no longer hits. I switch to Scratch, but after all the defense curls, it's barely making a dent to its health. Barb's lower speed is not giving us the critical hits Rick enjoyed against Brock. We do eventually get Geodude to critical health, we are unable to knock it out. We make another attempt at level 17, only using Scratch this time. We do some good damage early on, but after several defense curls, it slows to a crawl. The lack of critical hits is severely hurting us, and we do eventually knock it out and make it to the Onix with 9 hit points left. Barb outspeeds the giant rock snake and we go for Scratch. Tackle from Onix takes us down to 6 hit points, and a crit Scratch does next to nothing. Onix goes for Bide, and Barb begins growling to lower its attack. Bide misses, and we're back to scratching. We're just not doing the damage that we need against Onix, and eventually it knocks us out with still over half health remaining. It's time to train. At level 18, we make another attempt. Against Geodude, Scratch is doing a lot more damage. We eventually knock it out with 41 hit points remaining, significantly better than before. Next comes Onix. We get 2 critical hits in a row before Onix switches to Bide. We lower its attack with Growl during Bide before going back to Scratch. This took significantly longer than it did with Rick. We whittle down its health and defeat Brock at level 18. Inside Mount Moon, there is a moonstone in the back corner of the first floor. We expose it to Barb, who evolves into Nidoqueen. We now have a huge power spike. We make it to Cerulean City at level 22. We don't quite have Body Slam, but I'm confident in facing Rival 2. Pidgeotto is first. Our best move is still Scratch, which does over a quarter. Sand Attack misses, and we knock out the bird in 4 scratches without an accuracy loss. Abra cannot do anything to us, and a crit Poison Sting knocks it out. Barb levels to 23, and finally we can learn Body Slam. Rattata comes out, and I accidentally use Scratch instead of moving Body Slam in its place. We attack Rattata at low health, and Body Slam knocks it out. Finally, we're up against Squirtle. Body Slam takes it down to low health. Tail Whip is meaningless, and we take down Rival 2. While we are working our way through Nugget Bridge, I wanted to talk about the major difference between Nidoking and Nidoqueen, and that's their learn sets. Don't get me wrong, Body Slam is one of my favorite moves in this game. It one-shots most Pokemon in nearly all of my runs. However, Thrash one-shots entire teams with a single power point, and has 20 power points compared to Body Slam's 15. So especially in the mid-game, we only had to visit the Pokemon Center sparingly. All those extra button clicks to select Body Slam add up over time. The only caveat with Thrash is that after 3 to 4 turns, Thrash becomes a double-edged sword, confusing the user, whereas Body Slam is more consistent with the ridiculous 30% chance to paralyze. Anyway, we make it to Bill's house without incident, and now it's time for Misty. Staryu is first, and I only have 2 Body Slams left. It one-shots the Pokemon, and now it's just Starmie. Body Slam brings our Ace below half, but Water Gun knocks us down to 58 hit points. For some reason, I decided to try Poison Sting. It gets a crit, and brings it down to below a quarter. But Starmie also gets a crit with Water Gun, bringing us down to 20 HP. This time I opt for Scratch. Will it be enough? No! Starmie barely survives with a sliver of health. It goes for a Bubble Beam, and we're knocked out. I decide to immediately try again. Yes, I know it could go heal and have more Body Slam power points, but sometimes I'm just a little stubborn. Since Body Slam one-shot the Staryu and did more than half to Starmie, I have to save both for Starmie and use Scratch. It does more than half, and Staryu counters with Water Gun. A second Scratch crits, not that it would have mattered, and Staryu faints. Now I have 2 Body Slams for Starmie. First Body Slam hits, bringing it below half. It goes for Bubble Beam, and we get a speed drop. Okay, do we still outspeed? Well, Misty uses an X defend, and Body Slam does not knock it out. But we get a paralysis, so the speed drop no longer matters. Scratch knocks it out, and we've beaten Misty's second try. I teach Barb Bubble Beam, but unfortunately cannot learn Dig. I suppose the developers thought Nidoqueen was too bulky to cause massive property damage, so we teach it to the Paras we caught in Mount Moon, and now we're off to Vermilion City and board the SS Anne. Since Barb naturally learns Body Slam, we can skip getting the TM and head straight for Rival 3. Pidgeotto is first, and Body Slam knocks it out in one hit. Eradicate is next, it uses Quick Attack, but another one-hit KO from Body Slam. Kadabra, meet Body Slam. Wartortle comes out, its bulk allows it to survive, but it's fully paralyzed. I use Scratch to knock it out to preserve the power points for Surge. Speaking of which, now that Paras knows Cut, we are ready to face him. Barb has ground typing and immune to all of his electric moves. We clean up the trash cans, and now it's time to battle. Voltorb is first, and it gets knocked out by Body Slam. Pikachu is next, he uses Quick Attack, but that's nothing compared to Body Slam. Finally, his ace, Raichu, comes out. Body Slam takes it down to a third, and Raichu uses Growl. Wow, I hate to be under Lieutenant Surge's command. We collect the Thunder Badge and the TM for Thunderbolt, giving Barb more coverage for those pesky water types. We get the bike voucher while Paras destroys the foundation of the Pokemon Fan Club house. On our way to Lavender Town, we stop at the Pokemon Center to refresh our power points. Rock Tunnel is a breeze with both Body Slam and Bubble Beam. Once out, I feel the need to heal at Lavender Town to refresh our power points, something the Thrash Express didn't have to do. We make our way to Celadon, grabbing an extra fresh water for the little girl to get Ice Beam. I also pick up 2 calciums since Rick had a tough time with his mediocre special. We pick up the HM for Fly, and now it's time for the underground hideout, and Giovanni won. I keep Bubble Beam just for this fight for the 4 times super effectiveness. Both the Onix and the Rhyhorn are one-shot by Bubble Beam, and Kink is gone is 3-shot by Body Slam. Oh yeah, Giovanni uses Guard Spec and Rage during the battle. Does the suit come in a child-sized Giovanni? It's time to face Rival 4 in Pokemon Tower. It gave a surprisingly close fight against Rick, twice. So will Barb fare any better? Pidgeotto's up first. I forget I have Thunderbolt and use Body Slam instead. It survives and uses Sand Attack. Ugh. Growlithe is up next and Bubble Beam misses. Twice. Finally we knock it out and it's time for Execute. Body Slam misses and it goes for Hypnosis. Luckily Barb wakes up immediately and tanks the barrage. Body Slam lands and one-shots the Coconut Squad. Kadabra comes out, but not for very long as it's one-shot by Body Slam. Finally Wartortle. First Thunderbolt misses, Water Gun deals minimal damage, and a second Thunderbolt hits the mark and one-shots him. Rival 3 is down much cleaner than Rick. Barb puts on her Proton Pack, clears out the Ghost, and we are rewarded with a Pokeflute. Afterwards, we head over to Silphco for the Earthquake TM. While I'm looking for it, I come across this Rocket Grunt. We knock out his Raticate without issue, but then comes out his Hypno. We get a Gen 1 miss, 1 out of 256 chance, and it uses Confusion. Body Slam lands next turn, but it only does 3/4 damage, and Hypno puts us asleep. It again uses Confusion and knocks us below half health. Barb remains asleep until we're at 18 hit points. Body Slam knocks it out, but out comes another Raticate. It gets a critical hit Quick Attack, and we're down to 1 health. Body Slam does not knock it out. Please, not another Quick Attack. Ah! And just like Rick, we have to do Rival 4 all over again. So Thunderbolt for the Pidgeotto, Bubble Beam for the Growlithe. Execute wastes time with Barrage, but 2 Body Slams take it out. Body Slam for the Kadabra, and Thunderbolt for the Wartortle. Again, we clear out the Ghost of Marowak and retrieve the Pokeflute. This time we save at Silphco, avoid the Grunt with the Hypno, and eventually find the TM for Earthquake. We replace Scratch, and now we're ready to face Rival 5. Few minutes of training have been really good to the Rival. Pidgeot is first, and it survives Thunderbolt. It misses with Sand Attack, and we're able to knock it out next turn. Growlithe is next, and it also survives against Bubble Beam. It uses Takedown, which deals 17 damage. Another Bubble Beam knocks it out. Execute comes out, and I forgot we have the TM for Ice Beam. I go for Body Slam. It deals half damage to its health, and we get a Paralysis. But it gets off Hypnosis, and Barb is asleep. It uses Leech Seed next turn, and sets up Reflect. Body Slam is doing half as much as before, and Execute is now healing every turn. Barb uses Earthquake, which is doing about the same as Body Slam, and Execute uses Stun Spore. Great, now we're paralyzed. I throw every move I have at it, and eventually it goes down. But now we're up against Alakazam. It goes first because of our paralysis, and Confusion knocks us out. Wow. Immediately I try again. A Critical Strike Thunderbolt knocks out the Pidgeot. An Earthquake one-hit KOs the Growlithe. Execute comes out again, and I use Body Slam. It uses Leech Seed, and we're able to knock it out next turn. Alakazam comes out, and oh no, it outspeeds, and it uses Psybeam, which crits! It brings us down to 24 health. Are you kidding me? Body Slam doesn't even knock it out, and it's time to reset. Looking back at the footage, I really should have learned Ice Beam. I decide because of Nidoqueen's lower base speed that it's time to level up. At 42, we make another attempt. Pidgeot is 2-shot by Thunderbolt, Growlithe is 1-shot by Earthquake. Execute is 2-shot by Body Slam, but not before getting Leech Seed off. Alakazam is up next, and do I outspeed? No, I don't! And Psybeam knocks us down to 84 hit points. Body Slam brings it down to low health, and Confusion takes us down to 24 hit points, but we manage to take out the Alakazam. Finally, we're up against Blastoise. Thunderbolt hits, and it deals 2/3. Leech Seed brings us down to 15 hit points, and Blastoise uses Withdraw. Whew, we win, but that was too close. After we heal up, it's time for another easy Giovanni win. Nidorino is up first and is quickly dispatched by Earthquake. Gigaskin survives an Earthquake, but it goes for Rage, which does nothing, and another Earthquake knocks it out. Rhyhorn gets 1-shot by Earthquake, and so does Nidoqueen. You've got some soul searching to do, Giovanni. After dealing major structural damage to the office building by riding a Paris from the executive floor, it's time to think about what we're going to attempt next. Since we do not outspeed Rival 5's Alakazam, there's no way we'll outspeed Sabrina's. I decide to head back to Celadon and battle Erica. I finally remember we have the TM for Ice Beam and use it to replace Bubble Beam. Being 15 levels ahead, Erica is an absolute joke. 3 Ice Beams later, and the Rainbow Badge is ours. With Erica defeated, we can head down to Fuchsia City. We run our errands to pick up the HMs for Surf and Strength, and now it's time to battle Koga. Since Barb is Poison type, we cannot get poisoned. However, Self-Destruct can be dangerous with enough X attacks. Luckily, we have Stab Earthquake. It's already high base power of 100 to 150. So Earthquake one-shots Coughing number 1, one-shots the Muck, one-shots Coughing number 2, and the Weezing, it survives, and uses Self-Destruct. Oh right, we have Massive Bulk. Yeah, we're fine. So now we can surf to Cinnabar Island. It's time for Blaine, and it goes exactly as you would expect. You get an Earthquake, and you get an Earthquake. Everybody gets an Earthquake! We've left Sabrina for last, and I'm hoping the extra levels we've gained will help us outspeed her Alakazam. Did the planning pay off? Let's find out. Kadabra comes first, and we're 10 levels ahead. Barb outspeeds, and Earthquake one-shots it. So far, so good. Mr. Mime is next, and Earthquake again one-shots. Again, I believe that Venomoth is Flying type and use Thunderbolt. It does over half, and it goes for Leech Seed. Another Thunderbolt takes it out. Finally, Sabrina's ace, Alakazam. Does Barb outspeed? Yes, she does! And Earthquake one-shots. Let's go! Time for Giovanni. Again, Giovanni is an absolute joke. It's time to teach this crime syndicate lord who the real master of ground types is. A 10-year-old child. Rhyhorn is out first. Barb outspeeds, and Earthquake one-shots. Ice Beam for the Dugtrio, and another Earthquake for the Nidoqueen one-shots. Nice! Nidoking has lower defense and gets one-shot by Earthquake. Right on his last. Would you like another Earthquake? My pleasure! It survives on a quarter of health, and Giovanni goes for, wait for it, Guard Spec. There's a definite leadership problem here at Team Rocket. As expected, Barb is doing well, much like our Nidoking. But will it be enough to keep pace? Let's find out at Rival 6. Pidgeot is first. We still don't one-shot with Thunderbolt, but we do get a Paralysis. Pidgeot has good AI, so it uses agility, thinking it's super effective against our poison type, and we knock it out next turn. Rhyhorn is next, and it gets one shot by Earthquake. Growlithe also goes down to Earthquake, and Execute gets one shot by Ice Beam. Alakazam comes out and outspeeds, dealing over half damage to us with Psybeam. However, Earthquake is enough to one-shot it. Finally, we get to Blastoise. Barb uses Thunderbolt, Blastoise uses Withdraw, and we win. As we make our way through Victory Road, here are my rules for the Elite Four. In order to win, I must defeat all the members plus the champion in a straight shot. No saving between fights. I'm also using the rare candies that I have with the knowledge gain from the Nidoking run. And finally, we'll train up if we hit a wall. But with that being said, how will Barb perform at level 60? Let's find out. Lorelei is first and she sends out Dugong. Barb uses Thunderbolt and does 3/4 damage to the Trolley Seal. Aurora Beam hits for 1/4 damage and we knock it out next turn. Cloyster is next, and again we use Thunderbolt. It gets one shot. Slowbro comes out, another Thunderbolt, and it uses Withdraw. I love you, Gen 1. It's knocked out next turn. Jinx is next, and Earthquake one-shots it. And finally, we're up against Lapras. Thunderbolt does over half. Lapras goes for Blizzard and knocks Barb down to 11 HP. Another Thunderbolt, and what? Lapras is still up? How? Lapras uses another Blizzard, and it misses. Wow, and then finally a third Thunderbolt knocks it out. I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm glad we're past Lorelei. Hiker Bruno is up next. Onix is one-shot by Earthquake. Hitmonchan gets one-shot by Ice Beam. Hitmonlee barely survives, but Mega Kick is nothing. Second Onix, second Earthquake. And we get a Gen 1 miss on Earthquake against Machamp. Submission does a critical hit, and we're down to half HP. Another Earthquake hits, and takes Machamp down to 1/4 health. Bruno uses X-Defend. That's my Bruno. And an Ice Beam finishes it off. Now, Agatha could be difficult. Rick had an easy time because he outsped everything. However, Barb's base speed is lower, so this could get dicey. Gengar is out first. Barb outspeeds and one-shots with Earthquake. Golbat is next, and again we outspeed. But Golbat survives. And it uses Confuse Ray. Barb hurts herself in confusion, and Wing Attack does a small amount of damage. Barb focuses next turn and manages an Ice Beam to knock out the Golbat. Haunter is next, and Barb hurts herself again. Haunter uses Dream Eater, which misses, and Barb snaps out of confusion. Earthquake one-shots the Haunter. Arbok is next. Earthquake is another one-hit KO. Finally, Agatha's ace Gengar. Barb outspeeds, yes. Earthquake lands and one-shots the Gengar. On to Lance. Similar to Nidoking, I'm not too concerned about Lance. The only variable is if any of his Pokemon outspeed Barb. Gyarados is first. Barb uses Thunderbolt, and we get a Gen 1 miss! No! Hydro Pump crits and one-shots Barb. Are you kidding me? Oh god. We immediately attempt the Elite Four again and make it back to Lance first try. So here we go. Barb outspeeds the Gyarados, Thunderbolt crits, and the Water Dragon is knocked out. Much better. Dragonair number 1 comes out. Ice Beam crits, not sure if that mattered, and we knock it out. Dragonair number 2 comes out. Ice Beam one-hit KOs without the crit. Nice beam. Aerodactyl is next, and it outspeeds using Supersonic. Barb is now confused. She hurts herself in confusion, and Bite crits, dealing a chunk of damage. Ice Beam hits next turn, but we're unable to one-shot it. Lance uses a Hyper Potion, and Ice Beam lands, bringing it back down to critical health. Aerodactyl uses Takedown, bringing us to half health, but the recoil damage does not knock it out. Barb remains focused, and hits it with a third Ice Beam. Finally, we're up against Lance. It has good AI, so it will only spam Agility and Barrier. Neither affect Ice Beam. Barb snaps out of confusion, and we get another Gen 1 miss. Well, this is probably the best time to get it. Dragonite uses Barrier, which only increases defense, and Ice Beam one-shots it next turn. On to the champion. Pidgeot is up first. Thunderbolt does not one-hit KO, but we get another Paralysis. It sets up for Sky Attack, but another Thunderbolt knocks it out. Alakazam is next, and it's one-shot by Earthquake. Rhydon is up. Earthquake does not one-shot it, but it goes for Leer, which fails. Arcanine gets one-shot by Earthquake, and Barb levels up to 64. Executor is next. Ice Beam isn't even doing half, and it uses Hypnosis. After 2 turns, Barb wakes up. Ice Beam hits again and freezes! Let's go! That 1 in 10 chance happened both for Rick and Barb. Finally, we're up against Blastoise. Thunderbolt hits for about 2/3, and it goes for Blizzard. Please, no crits! Yes, we survive on 41 hit points. Barb is now the champion at level 64. So after all that, who reigns supreme between the Nidos? After tallying all the results, Barb took the lead at Brock and maintained it all throughout the run. Now, did she have an advantage using Rick's previous run? Absolutely. But let me know what you think in the comments. If both videos get 100 likes each, I will revisit both Pokemon and have a showdown versus match. Also make sure to hit that subscribe button to be notified about new content. Next up, we'll be doing the 3 legendary birds, so stay tuned for that. My name's Oso, and thanks for watching.